I would like to be honest with you. The title of today's discussion sounded equally funny and absurd to me as much as you. Because I have been surprised and taken aback by a finding that the real solution for COVID-19 lies in living through the affliction or the infection period stress-free. You may be wondering what this is all about. To understand this, we need to understand the mechanism of stress. Originally, the stress hormone, that is adrenaline, used to be called the fight or flight hormone. In other words, in ancient times, human beings lived in forests along with animals. Confronted by a sizable enemy, let's say a lion, there are only two choices left for the human being: fight or flight. For both, he needs an extra dose of energy. So the body will produce a hormone, the stress hormone, it's called adrenaline, which will accelerate the heart rate, dilate the blood vessels, making the person capable of an extra normal effort, whether he is fighting or in flight. In other words, the original function of the stress hormone was to energize and fortify the body for the fight or the flight. In both cases, the body needs an extra dose of energy. But today, we are not in a fight or flight situation. Mostly. Very rarely we may be confronted by a quotation gang or something where we may have to take a fight or flight decision. But usually not. Stress in modern times is actually related with examinations, interviews, family situations like divorce, ailments, etc. So in these situations, the stress hormones do not have a positive role to play. In other words, the stress hormones in this case do not have to energize the body for an extra effort like fight or flight. What is the net result? It does all kinds of deleterious and pathological things on the human system. And one of the most harmful effects of an adrenaline rush, which is not burned out for fight or flight, is its effect on the immune system, the lymphocytes, the cytokines, etc. What it does is it weakens the immune system. Because the stress hormones are not burned out for a fight or flight kind of reaction. So they remain stagnant in the bloodstream and lead to harmful effects like reducing the immunity. Today, COVID-19 could be as harmless as the influenza virus if your immune system is strong. It could even be less virile, less virulent compared to the influenza virus, because the influenza virus, if it affects you, if it infects you, would lead to signs of cold for sure, like running nostrils, etc. But the SARS-CoV-2 is even less potent, because in a person with a strong immunity, it can't even cause any symptoms. The affliction is asymptomatic. Now, what happens is, if a COVID affected person's immune system is to fight back against the virus, he has to be stress free, or at least in a least stressful environment. So the modern research points the finger at the mortality due to the SARS-CoV-2 virus is primarily due to stress-related immunodeficiencies, over and above other physiological causes for immunodeficiency like age, diabetes, etc. So please note, if we want to reduce mortality in a COVID case, the first and foremost thing that we need to do is to create a stress-free environment. As you can see, when you put people in quarantine, in COVID treatment centers and ventilators and ICUs and whatever, they are in an extreme state of stress, further weakening their immune system and further ensuring mortality due to the SARS-CoV-2 virus. So whether or not it's practical or feasible at this large size of infection, or in other words, with such a huge number of people infected, the real solution lies in providing a least stressful environment for the COVID-affected patient. In fact, they should be in resorts in a pleasant ambience, not in confinements or in constrained centers where the environment, the atmosphere and the ambience leads to further stress. So one of the biggest solutions in reducing mortality due to COVID lies in reducing stress post-COVID affliction. This has been proven categorically, without a shadow of doubt. So this thought I leave to the listeners to this particular episode. So if you ever feel that you have COVID-like symptoms, what you have to do is make sure that you spend the next few days till recovery in a least stressful or stress-free environment. Thank you very much.